Hey guys, I want to talk to you about some cold approach stuff. It has been a long while since I had an observation or anything to share with you in this realm, but I haven't forgot about it. I still love talking about this stuff. I love to think about these things and to observe the world around me, and that's exactly what I was doing tonight. And this is the little thing that I want to share with you guys tonight. I've talked to you in the past a lot about trying to observe who's around you and how they're reacting basically to your presence, and maybe sometimes they're giving you some sort of signals that they want to be approached, that they want to be talked to. And a lot of times the line is very, very great. It's hard to know. This is a very imperfect science for sure. There's very subtle things that women will do to let you know that it's okay to approach them, or they want to be approached in some circumstances. Namely, a lot of times they'll make a brief moment of eye contact. They'll linger in your airspace for some amount of time. They'll put themselves in your radar. Okay. And I know that every day and every single certain situations you encounter is vastly different. It's very dynamic, and it's hard to nail these things down. But I want to describe to you and tell you a little story about my day that just happened to me about 30 minutes ago or now, when the signals were just blaring off the charts. And it was like, it in the aftermath of this, it just kind of made me laugh. I really appreciated the moment. I respected this girl, and I just like, I want to share this with you guys. Sometimes when a woman is making it like so damn apparent that she wants to be open to talk to, it's just like off the charts. And hopefully you can hear the story, and hopefully it soaks in. Hopefully you remember this sort of thing, because you're going to have these times, guys, when you're just out there doing your thing, you're minding your own business, you're just going about your day, and a woman is going to put herself in your radar, in your sights. And it's like, I don't know what more you guys are waiting for to like give you a signal or a cue to man up and make something happen or take some sort of action. But this is just the way it played out for me, and this is the part that I want to share with you guys. Because like I said, this is a very good example of like a blaring like green light that a woman wants to be open. I'm in Target about, like I said, 30 minutes ago. I was completely just in my own little world. I'm on the tea aisle. I'm looking for freaking chamomile tea because I ran out. I like to drink chamomile tea at the end of the night. Sometimes it relaxes me, puts me to sleep. It's good stuff. I'm standing about 3 or 4 feet like back from the aisle, right? Maybe I'm on an 8 foot wide aisle, give or take, and I'm like 3 or 4 feet back from the physical products that I'm looking at. And I'm just chilling there, and I look to my right very briefly, and there's a woman pushing her shopping cart, and she like rolls like past the aisle, right, at parallel to where I was standing, like not even on my aisle, not even on the tea aisle. She just rolls by, and I locked eyes with her. She locked eyes with me. She very clearly gave me a very like direct like glance, like my way. She looked my way. Okay, I didn't think much of it. I went back to my little tea world, examining boxes and checking out stuff. And the same girl kind of like backtracks in the edge of the aisle, right? Like the parallel space, that's not actually on my aisle, but it's on like the sideway, the side passage or whatever. I see her like go back the opposite way and take another look at me. And okay, whatever, like that's happens. Like maybe, she missed a product in the prior aisle or something like that. But she does that, goes all the way past the aisle, comes back a third time, and this woman proceeded to like literally walk in front of my body space. Okay, so if you can imagine this, like I'm standing, like I said, 3 or 4 feet back from the aisle. She walks like literally like right in front of my body and like looks at the tea like awkwardly, almost like right in front of where I'm standing at. Like, so picture this, if I haven't illustrated enough, for you. I'm here. She's like right in front of me in the tea aisle. The products are like right behind that. So we're kind of making a sandwich, right? She has literally sandwiched herself in between like where I'm standing and what I'm looking at. And not only does she like awkwardly like walk like right in front of me, but she parks herself there for like minutes, just like reading the fucking tea products or whatever. And in my mind, I was like, I just thought it was funny. I didn't take it as like a rude gesture. But she just like lingered there. She just stayed there for a huge amount of time. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going a damn place. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not moving. I'm not moving my feet at all. Like, I was standing here before you got here. Like, I'm looking at this stuff here, and like, you just put yourself like directly like in my line of sight, like right in my line of fire. And it just struck me. It was a funny moment. Like I said, I didn't care. I didn't think to myself like, oh, how rude this woman was. Like, she was attractive. She was like, she had given me those like initial signals as I perceived them before she did this. But like I said, the biggest takeaway here, guys, and like the funny one about this situation is like, I don't know how much more a woman could do to like put herself in your airspace, put herself in your radar, put yourself in, or put herself in your little realm where you can very easily like open up a conversation and talk with her about any number of things. Talk to her about frickin' tea because it's right there. But even, you know, this sort of setup as I perceived it is like ripe for just like a, you know, like, hey, how's your day kind of type thing, or like say anything, just start a conversation. This is a woman that clearly wanted to be talked to. Unfortunately for her and for the situation, like, I wasn't really feeling her presence, and that's fine. Like I said, I respected her for like putting herself out there, like in this sort of way, like to put herself in that close proximity of another human being, like takes courage on anybody's part, and especially a woman's part. But it's just like, the story here and the point, guys, is just to like reiterate this fact is like, as you're out there in the world, your day to day, your normal daily hours sorts of setting, you're out just going about your normal life. You're not in a bar, you're not in a club, you're not in a, you know, a typical place where you might think to go and try to meet people. You're in like that normal, average, everyday grocery store sort of setting. Pay attention to your surroundings. Try to tune in to what the women around you are doing in your presence, how they're like interacting non-verbally, very specifically with what you're doing. You know, if you're just literally standing right still, you're not going anywhere, you're just parked and you're just doing your thing, and a woman comes up and puts herself in your airspace like that, this blatantly too is just like I said, a blaring example, kind of a funny little story. But just try to remember that stuff, guys. Try to think about that. Try to be in the moment. Try to analyze a little bit. I know it's hard to think in real time. I know it's hard to think this quickly and be on your feet. But tune into these signals. This was a very clear, blaring signal that this woman wanted to be interacted with by me, specifically. As I perceived it, I could be totally off the mark. I don't think so, though. After living enough years of my life and doing this stuff for long enough, like, any woman that wants no part of a conversation with you is not going to sandwich herself in between you and an aisle of products that you're looking at. Okay, very, very clear, blatant behavior. And it's interesting, and it's fascinating, it's cool, and it's exciting, and it's fun, and it's neat. And there's nothing wrong with what she did. I admired it, I respected it. But for you guys, okay, your job is twofold, okay? The woman's job is to put herself in your radar, but your job is to, number one, perceive and analyze. Number two, make a fucking move. Okay, try to remember that, guys. Try to keep sight of this stuff when you're out there in your day. These things happen, believe it or not. I know you don't think it happens, but what I say to you guys, if that's your mindset, is I say you're not paying close enough attention to your surroundings, because there's human beings walking this earth right now that have an interest in you. I guarantee it. I don't care who you are, what kind of guy you are, what you think you look like, what you think you bring to this world, any of those things, there is somebody out there that's paying attention to you. Believe that or not. Okay, guys, I believe in you. I want you to believe in you. I want you to think about your surroundings when you're out there. I want you to have success, have fun, most importantly, in your day-to-day, and try to open your eyes a little bit. Try to look out for women that do this sort of thing. Yes, it's not always so black and white, but just like, try to think about this a little bit, guys, okay? All right, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.